Hi there, folks. Sean Brodrick. I'm on the trail of another hot Canadian gold explorer, and yet I am not in Canada. I am in Boca Raton, Florida, because this is where the money is. So this is where the miners come down to meet people and greet people and tell them about their fantastic stories. And have we got one for you today? This is Maple Gold Mines. This is not Maple Gold Mines. This is Jonas Lang. He's a VP of Corporate Development for Maple Gold Mines, and they have a project up in a really rich part of Canada, a part of Canada that I've been to. I have met miners from that area. Big projects happen in that area. That's the beauty of it. And these guys are on the trail of something good, and he's going to give us the scoop on it. Could you please speak to my subscribers?
Yes, absolutely. So Quebec, Canada is one of the best jurisdictions on the planet, I'd argue, in terms of mining. In terms of gold mining, there's been 200 million ounces of gold produced here historically. Over the last 5 years alone, in the Abitibi Greenstone Belt, we've seen $7 billion in M&A transactions. You have infrastructure, you have labor, and most importantly, this is a place where liquidity events happen for shareholders. Our vision for this company is to take the now nearly 3 million ounces of gold, increase that to a critical mass in terms of grade and size, and then look for one of our neighbors to buy us, one of the hungry producers around us.
Okay, now, Abitibi Greenstone Belt. You guys have heard me speak about this before, and there are parts of it that are rather remote. That is not the case with this company. Could you maybe explain that a bit?
For sure. So we are off a main highway, Highway 109. You drive right up to the project, 5-minute road off of the main highway. You have one of the major power lines that runs right through the project. You're within an hour from rail, airport in Matagami. So again, you have neighbors producing 500,000 ounces of gold within an hour's drive. You have Detour north of us, 23 million ounce gold deposit. Canadian Malartic is about an hour south of us, hour and a half south of us, producing 500,000 ounces as well there. So again, big players around us that will be looking for more ounces to feed their pipeline, and we feel we're well positioned to help feed that.
Okay, so you guys have a grade of over 1 gram per ton, isn't that right?
That's right, yeah.
And could you tell me a little more about what the current deposit looks like?
Yeah, absolutely. So the current deposit is the 2.8 million ounce inferred resource. So we have a maiden resource to build on. There's a number of zones to date that have been delineated, and one of the objectives of our go-forward drilling will be to start to connect these zones and prove up that this is one connected large system. And then we'll have a new resource update out later in the year.
So how much drilling will your company be doing this year?
We'll be drilling 25 to 30,000 meters. It's also important to note, actually, that in 2017, we drilled 23,000 meters. The resource estimate today does not include that drilling.
Oh, really?
So we have certainly some room there for some growth from that drilling. We'll now layer on top of it another 25,000 plus meters this year. And that drilling will accomplish two objectives. One, we'll be drilling in the resource area, infill, step-out drilling, looking to expand on the high-grade zones, increase ounces. And then we'll also have about half of the program dedicated to new discovery drilling. So that'll be new greenfields targets. We have some very, very compelling targets that we'll be testing. We had news out today, actually, that discusses this. We were also on the cover of the Northern Miner this week.
I can't hurt.
And again, I think this is a story for your followers. You go through and check the boxes as an investor. Jurisdiction, established resource, infrastructure. Is there upside? Yes. The last box to tick is people and the management group.
I was just going to ask you about top management.
So over the last 6 months, we have gone through a significant transition that culminated with the new name change to Maple Gold Mines on November 20th.
What did the company used to be called?
Orvista.
And you've heard of Orvista because I've talked about it before.
So Orvista, and not to, the last management group did a lot of great things. They built a very good foundation for us to take forward. But in terms of capital markets, in terms of having a group that's been there and done that, you now have a company that looks a lot like a mini Ivanhoe Mines. Our new CEO, Matthew Horner, worked with Robert Friedland for Ivanhoe for 12 years.
Famous in the gold industry.
Yeah, say Robert Friedland could be the Warren Buffett of mining executives, if you will. You now have David Broughton, who's a well-decorated world-class geologist that helped find most of the ounces and pounds in the Ivanhoe portfolio, is now the head of our technical committee. He's a director as well. You have Pierre Lebel, Mining Person of the Year in 2012, Chairman of Imperial Metals. He's now a director. We have a new CFO who was a Deloitte partner for over a decade who worked with Ivanhoe Group. So you get the sense this is a lot of alumni from the Ivanhoe Group, a $4 billion company that are now behind a 40 million market cap company with tremendous upside here and a lot of results to come this year.
Well, this is quite exciting. So you have told us that you plan to do more drilling and then take the drilling from last year and this year and put a new resource estimate out. I'm guessing Q3, maybe Q4, something like that.
Exactly.
Are there any other things we should look for from your company, say, over the course of this year?
Yeah, I think just in general on the awareness side, this is a company that was relatively unknown. I don't want to say it was orphaned, but it was left with a group that had maybe become a little stale in terms of their ability to get out and tell the story.
Right.
This company will now have increased awareness this year. Again, noted we're on the cover of the Northern Miner. I think that sort of publicity and awareness will increase. And I think with that, some analyst coverage, people taking note, I think that can certainly add value this year as well.
Okay, great. Fascinating little company. Let's give them the stock symbol before we go.
Absolutely. So we trade on the TSXV under the symbol MGM and on the OTC under the symbol MGMLF.
I will put those on the screen for you so you will see those as well. Fascinating little company working in the heart of a very rich mining belt in Canada, in Quebec, which we know is friendly to miners, so that's good. And they have infrastructure. They have more infrastructure than we've actually told you about today. So, and it looks like they are going to be drilling more and adding to that resource. If the drilling last year didn't look somewhat promising, they wouldn't be doing the drilling this year. I can tell you that from my experience anyway. So, he can't say anything. Don't actually tempt him. So, keep that in mind. There's a lot going on. We'll definitely keep our eye on this company because we'll probably be hearing a lot about it. Stay tuned. I'll have more for you. This is Sean Brodrick in Boca Raton. Stay tuned.